Hi everybody, welcome back to Vlogmas, where I am posting a video or a live stream every single day in the month of December 2022, and a bunch of those are going to be planner reviews, specifically mostly planners that you guys have requested of me. Today is no exception. Before we get into talking about this little buddy right here, though, I want to remind you that if you're watching this video anytime in the first 25 days of December 2022, that the 25 days of planner giveaways is going on here on my channel. Go check out the community tab. I have a metric shit ton of planners that I'm giving away from all sorts of different brands. There's no requirements about liking or tagging friends or whatever. It's just post on it to enter the giveaway. It's my way of thanking you for all of your support this past year and also getting these things out of my house. In the meantime, let's talk about this planner, which will also be added into the giveaway, so stay tuned for that. This is the Moo Undated Perpetual Planner. This was recommended to me by one of my patrons, and I was very surprised. I had never heard that Moo had done a planner, and the funny thing is I have used Moo a whole bunch for my Etsy shop and for other things. Their paper quality and everything is great. I shopped enough with them one year where I got one of their little gifts as one of their top customers, which kind of blew my mind and then made me rethink things a little bit. But this is not sponsored. I bought this with my own money. This is not a sponsored video. All of my opinions will be uncensored as per usual. Let's talk about this planner. So the planner itself is $30. Now with Moo, because it is a company where you can buy things like business cards and postcards and stuff like that for your business, they do have an offer where you can buy this in bulk. You get the discount, I think, once you order 10 copies or more. I don't imagine most of you plan to do that, but I wanted to mention that there is a discount if you buy a lot of them. You can also customize them with customizable cover printing and embossing, things like that. But again, you have to order, I think 10 is the minimum to get a custom order, and it does cost quite a bit more. I think it's more like $20 plus the $30. It's like $50 a planner. So I'm giving you that information so you have it. I don't anticipate that's going to apply to anybody who's watching this video. If you buy the uncustomized single planner, it is $30. You have a choice of 4 different colors. This is the gray, obviously, and you get a choice of 2 clips. And I think one of them might be out of stock. Is a stainless steel clip and a gold tone clip, and they're meant to be like the clip that marks what day you're on. I got the gold. Instead of a bookmark, you get a little clip. The size is slightly smaller than A5. It is 5.12 by 8.15 inches. It's undated, like I said. According to the website, has a tough cloth cover, lie flat Swiss binding, which we'll talk about in a minute, a flexible dot grid layout with grid and lined notes sections. It is for a full year and it is undated. Now that we've talked about the basics of this planner, let's take a look at it. So first and foremost, the tough, durable cloth cover. Yeah, it's got that linen-y feel. If I can compare it to anything that I've tested recently, it is very similar to the linen-y feel of the Hemlock and Oak notebooks, which is actually great for me because that is a wonderful feeling cover, very substantial feeling while still feeling kind of fancy. It has absolutely no printing or foiling, just a debossed Moo here on the back. The lie flat Swiss binding is where the block of the book, where the glue and the stitching is not actually adhered to the center of the cover. And the inside has this green, kind of hospital green paper. I will tell you, I've seen this kind of binding before. It always made me think that the book was broken, but it does indeed lie extremely flat, to a point where it lies flatter than almost any book-bound type notebook. Even the ones that lie super flat, I think there is something to this Swiss binding in making the lie flat magic. So for lefties, this actually could be a phenomenal planner, just in terms of how easy it will be for you to write, because it's not joking when it says it lies flat. All right, so this is the thing that came on the inside. It is the little, oh, that's cool. How does this clip work? You're supposed to put it on where the days fall. So wherever you are in the month. So I guess let's do it for today, where I'm at, the day I'm filming. Let's do it for the day that this video is going live, which currently, according to my schedule, is the 5th of December. So I'm gonna look at my calendar. So the 5th is a Monday. So this little clip, let me see if you can see here. This little clip has Monday through Sunday. So Mondays start at the top of the clip. And then there's a calendar here that has a whole or like a pile of numbers here that has a whole bunch of different numbers in different spaces. I don't know how it works. It looks like some fucking bullshit magic to me, but apparently this is how it's going to work. So if we want the Monday to fall on the 5th, because that's the day this is going live, then we would line it up here, and now suddenly the whole month is highlighted. So Thursday's the 1st? Yeah. And the 31st is a Saturday? That is pretty cool. So it's a way for you. Now, of course, you could just use it as your clip for the week and cover that up with washi tape or a sticker if you're somebody who doesn't need one of these calendars. But that is an interesting way to include one of those little tiny calendars while still keeping the planner undated. That is unique. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Now, it may not be unique. Maybe I'm missing something from another planner company, but I have never seen something like that before. So props to you, Moo. That's nifty. The inside cover of this Swiss-bound book is a cardstock, and it's textured on this side with it looks like a diagonal kind of grid. You can't really see it, but it's subtle. But it is embossed, and it has a nice feel of texture to it. And then when you open it, it's just blank cardstock. And then there's the one paper that's glued to it with nothing on it so that you're not wasting that page. I'm going to stay zoomed in for right now because already I can tell you that the print on this is very, very light. So it may be hard for you to see on camera. It definitely gets a little bit better, I think, as you get into it. But if you are somebody who has some vision issues, this may not be the planner for you. I love how it says the tricky first page. Nameplate pages and I have never really cared about each other. We exist in the same space. And gives you a couple lines. And at the bottom it says, ooh, this is your perpetual planner. And it gives you some more information that wasn't on the website. 128 pages of Finch opaque bright white smooth 70-pound text, 104 GSM, 24 pages of color plan paper, 90-pound text, 135 GSM. That must be the color pages that separate the seasons. And it says, right, let's make some plans. So here's your weekly layout. We already took a look at this little calendar situation that you use with the clip. Up here along the top is all 12 months. And you just, I guess, circle whichever one that you are in. One thing you could do also is just highlight one of the months and then use the same highlighter to highlight the week that you're on over here. You've got a blank section up here, which measures about, it's the width of the page. So it's a little under 5 inches. And then from the bottom of this calendar to the top of the words, it measures 2.5 inches. So there's some space in there that you could use stickers or washi tape or whatever. And then you move into the actual planner of the page. You have it's a Monday start, Monday through Friday here, and you have 2 blocks of dot grid. They're not solid. There is a space in between. The dots themselves look to be 3 millimeters square. The space between the 2 boxes is 1 centimeter. The space between the days, the little margin, is 5 millimeters. And then the boxes themselves of dot grid, like the size of the box is, it looks like 5.25 millimeters or 5.25 centimeters by 3.5 centimeters. In inches, that would be little less than 2 1/8 inch by 1 5/8 inches. So you could technically use stickers that are sized like the standard sizes on these boxes, but a full box would cover the majority of this one of these little grids. And you have the full 2 spaces of grid for all 5 days of the week. And then the weekend has a slightly darker teal color, which looks like it's the same throughout the planner. Each weekend day only gets one of those sections. I don't love when the weekends don't get the same space as the week. That's kind of a bummer. So you get 14 weeks, no monthly spread. No monthly layout, no monthly spread, just weekly spreads. At the end of 14 weeks, you get those color pages that they were talking about. So I'm pretty sure that the way this planner works is that each section of notes pages is different. So the first section has one of the notes pages. It's a dot grid, which looks like it has the same faint dot grid that you have on the inside, which is the 3 millimeters. But then there's another dot grid that's kind of like it's a 5 millimeters dot grid. So you have kind of two. There's with these pluses. I'll zoom you in so you can see. The pluses are the 5mm dot grid, and the little dots are the 3mm dot grid. So about 3mm dot grid. So you have two kind of ways you can play it. The dot grid covers the whole page except for this little section at the top that you can use for a header. It starts with the other side of the standard 70-pound paper, and then it goes into the thicker paper, that the color paper they were talking about, where you have 4 double-sided pages of that thicker cardstocky paper, and then another blank dot grid. Then you go into your weeks again. So when we get to the next 14 weeks. This time you're into ruled. It looks kind of like college ruled paper with a small margin and a light gray rule on it. And again, you get 4 of those green cardstocky pages with the back sides of the other 2 regular pages. Then the next quarter, 14 weeks later, it's their isometric pattern. So you can use this to do 3D drawing if you want to, or just use it as another set of grid pages. But like the dot grid, there is the little section up at the top for a title. The lined pages just were like a standard sheet of binder paper, so they had the standard title spot at the top. You have your last 14 weeks, and that is the end of your notes pages. Just a blank green page and a blank page here. What I want to do is pen test it, and I'm going to pen test it on both the 70-pound white paper and the 24-pound and the 90-pound color plan paper. It's a nice bright white, slight grayish cast to it, maybe because of the printing, but very, very nice looking paper. Both of them have a tiny bit of a tooth to them. I will be using my usual pen testing pens. I have a gel pen, Energel RTX by Pentel 07 tip. I have a Staedtler Pigment Liner 01. I have a Tombow dual brush pen. I have a Zig clean color dot marker and a Zebra mild liner, and I'm going to use them both on either side. A couple of notes. First and foremost, I'm heavy-handed. Secondly, I press down lightly and harder with the dot marker, and I did a single and then a double pass of the highlighters. So we'll look at the thinner paper first. Okay, this did the doozy. So there was 0 ridging for the most part. Now it's on the spine, so that may have had something to do with it. No ridging or shadowing with either of the writing pens, but there is bleed through with all 3 of the markers. Very slight bleed through with the highlighter on the first pass, and more of a bleed through on the second pass. Very, very, like mostly ghosting, but very, very slight bleed through with the light dot marker, and quite a bit of bleed through with the heavy dot marker, and with the Tombow shadowing and a little bleed through. So this paper is not friendly for juicy markers, and probably you'd want to use light colored highlighters with it. Now, as for the color paper, the thicker paper, there's no ghosting, no shadowing, no nothing. Nothing at all. Doesn't look like anything happened. So that's cool. I will say with both of them, I noticed with both of them that it soaked right into the paper, which is why I thought it might have some bleed through. So it's just something to watch out for. This could be a really great little planner for you, especially if you're left-handed and you use, you're not going to use lots of heavy color markers in it unless you're using them on the green pages. But in that sense, like I feel like writing on green paper with color markers might look really weird. So you may not want to do that either. I don't think this is a planner for somebody who wants to be real heavy duty with the markers and shit that they use. However, it's a fun little planner and it's different. Like both the little clip, the way it's set up, the colorful, thicker note pages. I feel like this planner was thought about and it wasn't just a rehash of what's already out there. And in that sense, I think that that's very cool. So there may be people out there who have been waiting for a planner like this. And if you're one of them, let me know. Be sure to go check out the giveaways. Let me know in the comments what you think of this, any other planners you'd like me to take a look at next year, or pens or whatever. I'd love to hear about it. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. And until next time, my friends, peace.